The purple sky of Zephyria burned with enemy fire as Commander Lyrelai pressed her scaled hand against the communication panel. Her golden eyes reflected the chaos outside the command center, where her people fought desperately against the Void Swarm. The insectoid invaders had overwhelmed 3 star systems in just 2 weeks. Their black ships moved like hungry shadows, consuming everything in their path. Now they surrounded Zephyria, the last stronghold of the Zephyrian Empire. Lyrelai had heard whispers about a young species called humans. They were new to the galactic community, but stories of their impossible victories had spread across the known worlds. Some said they were crazy. Others claimed they were brilliant warriors who never gave up. Sub-Commander Valara burst through the door, her blue skin pale with fear. "The enemy has breached Sector 7. She reported, breathing heavily. "Our shields cannot hold much longer." "How long before total collapse?" Lyrelai asked. "Maybe 6 hours if we are lucky," Valara replied. Lyrelai made a decision that would change everything. She opened a quantum channel to Earth, a small blue planet 3 systems away. This was their last Hope Human Fleet command. "This is Commander Lyrelai of the Zephyrian Defense Force," she spoke into the communicator. "We request immediate military assistance. Our world faces extinction from the void." A calm female voice responded. "This is Admiral Lisa Morgan of the Terran Space Navy. We have monitored your situation, Commander." "What can you tell us about enemy numbers?" Lyrelai felt a spark of hope. The human had not asked about payment or treaties, just information about the threat. "Our scans show approximately 5,000 enemy vessels of various sizes. They use energy weapons that drain our shields and acidic projectiles that melt our hull." Armor Admiral Morgan paused for a moment. "Commander, we are dispatching the 5th Fleet under Captain Amy Clark. They will arrive in 4 hours. Can your forces hold until then?" "I do not know," Lyrelai admitted honestly. "We will try. Hold the line, Commander," Morgan said firmly. "Humans never abandon their allies." As the communication ended, Valara stared at her commander in disbelief. "You called the humans? Everyone says they are primitive savages who just learned to travel between stars." "Perhaps," Lyrelai replied, watching explosions light up the sky. "But primitive savages who never surrender might be exactly what we need." 3 hours passed like centuries. The Zephyrian fleet had been reduced to 12 ships from an original force of 200 enemy vessels, surrounded the planet like vultures waiting to feed. Suddenly, space itself seemed to tear open as dozens of human ships emerged from hyperspace. The vessels looked different from anything in the galaxy. Built like weapons instead of exploration craft, they moved with deadly purpose. "This is Captain Amy Clark of the Human Destroyer. Revenge to all Zephyrian forces," she announced over the communication. "Channels, take cover and prepare for close combat." What happened next became legend among spacefaring species. The human ships did not maintain safe distances like civilized fleets. Instead, they charged directly into the Void Swarm formation. There, weapons blazed with nuclear fire while their pilots performed maneuvers that defied common sense. Captain Clark led her flagship straight toward the largest enemy vessel, a massive Void Swarm dreadnought that had been pounding Zephyrian positions. For hours, her crew consisted entirely of human females, each one trained for this moment. Commander Kate Johnson handled weapon systems, while Lieutenant Beth Williams managed shields. Pilot Officer Emma Davis flew the ship like she was dancing with death itself. The enemy responded with concentrated fire, trying to overwhelm the human vessel. But the Revenge twisted and rolled through the barrage like a living thing. Its armor sparked and burned but held together. Now, Clark ordered Kate Johnson, pressed the firing controls. Nuclear missiles and plasma beams struck the alien dreadnought at point-blank range. The massive vessel shuddered under the assault, its dark hull cracking like broken glass. Other human ships followed the same insane strategy. They rammed through enemy formations, trading damage for position. Their smaller size let them move between the giant Void Swarm vessels like angry wasps. Lieutenant Commander Megan Ross piloted the cruiser Phoenix directly beneath an enemy mothership. Her gunners fired everything they had into the alien vessel's unprotected belly. The explosion that followed lit up half the star system. On Zephyria, Lyralai watched in amazement as the tide of battle shifted. The humans fought with a fury she had never seen before. When their ships took damage, they used the wreckage as weapons. When their weapons failed, they rammed enemy vessels with their own hulls. A human destroyer called Thunder ran out of missiles while facing 3 enemy cruisers. Instead of retreating, Captain Holly Martinez ordered ramming speed. Her ship smashed into the lead enemy vessel at full throttle. The explosion destroyed all 4 ships, but cleared the way for other human forces. "This is impossible," Valara whispered. "The humans are outnumbered 10-1, but they are winning. They fight like the universe owes them something." Lyralai observed with growing respect. The battle raged for another hour. Human ships continued their relentless assault. Even when severely damaged, they kept fighting. The destroyer. Lightning lost half its hull but kept firing with its remaining weapons. Captain Sarah Adams refused evacuation orders from her flagship Nova, even as enemy acid ate through the bridge. Her engineering crew worked miracles, keeping the ship operational, while she coordinated strikes against enemy command vessels. The turning point came when Captain Clark led a final charge against the Void Swarm command ship. Her own vessel was barely holding together, its hull breached in dozen places, but she pressed forward. "This is for everyone they have killed," she announced over the general communication channel. The Revenge struck the enemy flagship at maximum velocity. The resulting explosion created a new star that briefly outshone Zephyria's sun. When the light faded, both ships were gone, but so was the Void. Swarm command structure without coordination, the remaining enemy vessels fled into deep space. Their retreat became a rout as human forces pursued them beyond the system boundaries. In the aftermath, Commander Lyralai stood in her damaged command center, watching human ships patrol the debris field. Many of their vessels were so damaged they could barely fly, yet they continued protecting Zephyrian Space Admiral. Morgan contacted them from her flagship. "Excellence, Commander Lyralai, are your people safe?" "Yes, thanks to your forces," Lyralai replied. "We owe humanity a debt that cannot be repaid." Morgan laughed warmly. "You owe us nothing. Commander, we fight the Void. Swarm wherever we find them. Today we fought them here, tomorrow we will fight them somewhere else. That is what humans do." As the human fleet prepared to depart, Lyralai realized something important had changed. The galaxy had new guardians now, beings who would charge into impossible odds to protect others. Warriors who measured victory not in profit or territory but in lives saved. The purple sky of Zephyria was clear again. Stars shone peacefully where enemy ships had darkened space. And somewhere, among those stars, human vessels continued their eternal patrol, ready to answer the next call for help. The battle had seemed lost until they called in humans. Now the Zephyrian people understood why other species spoke of them with such mixture of fear and admiration. Humans did not fight wars, they fought extinction itself, and they always won.